Grunge. It's probably the most ill-defined genre of music in history, says writer Kyle Anderson, author of the book Accidental Revolution, The Story of Grunge. So, we could very well use the term to introduce today's band, but I'm going to stay with 90s influenced alternative rock, because the band is not too keen to be labeled as grunge. The good news is that after 10 years, coming up on April 18th, they're releasing their third album. Let's dive into their story. Bienvenidos to Indie Resistance. Yo am here another week, ready to share with you one of those bands that may reconnect you with the past in a good way, or serve as a bridge to connect the newer generations to the 90s. Now, before anything, remember to click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and visit my website for more reviews and incredible merchandise. Amigos y amigas, today I want to introduce you to Superheaven, a band that I originally would have defined as grunge, but the more I listened to them, the more I realized I was wrong, at least partially. Let's start with the three reference bands: Alice in Chains, Weezer, Deftones. Superheaven was formed in 2008, but it was under a different name, Daylight. Between 2009 and 2012, they released 3 EPs. Their debut album, Jar, was released in 2013, and it reached the position 184 of the US Billboard 200 charts. But that same year, there was an unexpected legal battle with a Spanish band with the same name, Daylight. The band changed their name to Superheaven in 2014 and released their sophomore album, Ours is Chrome, in May 2015. The band members are Jake Clark, lead vocals, guitar; Taylor Madison, lead vocals and guitar; Joe Kane, bass; Zach Robbins, drums, backing vocals. It was back in 2021 that I came across Superheaven's Live in a Jar, a track included in their debut album. The powerful opening guitar riff seduced me right away, because it was clearly reminiscent of Alice in Chains. Shamefully, and for no specific reason, I didn't dedicate any more time to savor their music. Mind you, the track had been released for 8 years, and their second album had been out since 2015, so I guess that's what it was. I didn't want to become a fan of a band that I thought didn't exist anymore. Until this week, somehow I realized that they are releasing their third album, and this time I devoured their music like that lunatic that sees an all-you-can-eat sign and takes it as a challenge. And I decided to make justice for my lack of interest a few years back and make this video. Now is the time to get our hands dirty, because here's where debates will arise.
Please be civilized.
As I said, my original impulse was to categorize Superheaven as a modern grunge band, but there's more to it. Especially because vocals fall on the emo, post-hardcore, or even git rock territory. Jar was heavily influenced by 90s grunge and alternative music, being their sound in general reminiscent of bands like Alice in Chains and Nirvana. Dark, dense, riff-based music topped with melancholic melodies. The song Youngest Daughter regained popularity in recent years after being featured in several TikTok videos, reaching almost 140 streams in Spotify. Then, Ours is Chrome was brighter, kind of feeling like a mix of emo, power pop, and alternative rock. Imagine Weezer meets Basement. But then there are tracks like Room or Leech that will bring you back that Nirvana spirit. And the new album, or at least the 3 advanced songs called Cruel Times, Numb to What Is Real, and Long Gone, seem to have turned into alternative metal, getting closer to bands like Deftones or Filter. And yet, Jake manages to keep that emo post-hardcore vibe on the vocals. Lyric-wise in general, the songs are introspective, dark, melancholic, denoting emotional pain and agony like in Youngest Daughter, where the lyrics convey feelings of helplessness and desperation as the singer grapples with the pain of seeing a loved one suffer with heroin addiction. The main difference that I noticed comparing these 3 songs to the previous record is an evolution on the melodic approach. Vocals sound more confident with a wider range of exploration. Instrumentally, they added some complexities to their music. Fortunately, they stayed within the realm of what makes them who they are. Now let's talk about production. We could almost say that there's a 5th member to Superheaven, their longtime friend, recording engineer and producer Will Yip, who used to live close by to the band and has worked with them since the beginning. Yip is known for his work with bands like Circa Survive, Arctic Monkeys, or even Skrillex and Panic at the Disco. The production has evolved in each album. With Jar, the band had the time to demo all the tracks before finally entering the studio with all the ideas pretty much set and ready to go. With Ours is Chrome, they started the recording process with more open-ended ideas, which Will Yip helped finalize. And finally, Cruel Times was recorded and engineered by band members Jay Clark and Zach Robbins, and co-produced by Will Yip. According to a press release from the band, the 10-track album is a towering collection that sees them pushing at their boundaries with a sense of pensive gloom. Bueno familia, we're reaching the end of the video, but before I close, let me tell you some more good news. In support of the release of the album, the band is going to be touring North America and do some shows in Europe, so stay tuned to see if they play in your city. And please let me know your thoughts on the comment section. See you next week. Hasta luego.